So when Bovi walked into my set, I was very tense because, I mean, this man is supposed to be my mentor, even though he has refused to take that title. I'm excited to have Bovi on my couch. He's an actor, comedian, writer, and a producer. Please put your hands together for my guest, guys. Sounds like he smile. I don't see comedian. Bros!
How far?
You know, say this interview, my body shake like this, man, no fuck up.
Why?
Eh?
Why?
You don't say you be high maintenance now. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
You know, message me this year. You know, they check up on me. I feel like our relationship has to get better this year, bros.
It's in your
You know,
hands.
say you get family.
It's in your hands.
It's in my hands.
Why you they wait make I
And
check
they call
on
you every time. You're always a busy.
Did I pick the call or not? See?
Okay.
See life.
Okay, let's get into it.
Hell yeah, now.
One question has been on my mind since. Did you always think life was going to get this good?
Is life that good?
No, but I mean, your life, you're a star. You have beautiful kids. You have an amazing wife. Your career is thriving. I mean, from your own background, I mean, you've told me a bit about your background. Do you think life was going to get this good? I'm not saying that life is perfect, but...
As regards having a family, I didn't think deep about it, but I always knew that, okay, first off, I go marry fine woman.
And Chris fine.
And Chris fine.
Yeah.
You know? And I think my biggest luck so far is that I married a woman that's similar to my mother in more ways than one. You know, because my mom was the most charming human being I ever knew.
Yeah.
So everybody, mama's special.
Yeah. But your own special, it's too special for you.
Too special.
Talk about her every time, yes.
Too special. Right. So, I mean, I have always been a lover of good things. I would never settle for less in most cases. Right. So, yeah. I envisaged this life. I didn't envisage having 3 children though.
How many you want born before?
One. I wanted only one child. It's why the age gap between my first and second is 4 years. Because I had absolutely no plans to have more children. And my mom, my wife, especially the 2 of them, the pressure. My mom, I all typical African, just born. My wife says she must born girl. I say, I get 4 brothers, or rather will be 4 boys.
No girl.
The girl is last,
right? From
my mom. My mom gets 8 brothers. Only girl, first child. My mom was first child, right? And many step siblings or half siblings, as the case may be. So my wife say, "Man, no worry. Say, we'll born girl."
One girl must do.
We're not a born girl. She say we must born girl. Yeah, so when the second pregnancy happened, turns out it was a girl, which was a surprise. So I said, okay, Shebi, you don't cuckoo get the girl, because my fear was I didn't want a situation where she would tell me, oh, the second one is a boy. I really want a girl.
So you're gonna call it the bond they go.
Because now so my mama take born 5 of us.
Jesus.
Yeah, my mom wants girl. So she was so sure her 3rd child was gonna be a girl.
What number are you?
1.
Are you the firstborn?
Yes. Everybody feels say my immediate younger brother.
I swear, I feel say that bro senior you.
No, I seen her with 3 years. Not play. I'll be bros.
What is you doing? It's a firstborn behavior. Be this.
No, but he they do like firstborn well. You know, his temperament is very assertive.
I think that you have a very interesting life. We've spoken a bit about your early life and what you got up to when you were younger. But I really want to know, I mean, for the benefits of people watching, when did all this start for you? Because you have gone on to become an actor, a comedian, a producer. When did all this start? When did you know that this was the line I was going to tour eventually?
I didn't know I was going to be a producer. If I had my way, I probably would just be an actor, writer, comedian.
Okay.
That is my nucleus, right? But you see, in this industry, in most cases, if you don't take the bull by the horn, you aren't going to make the big bucks.
Yeah.
You know? So I had to take responsibility into my hands. I started off as executive producer, not even as actor, because I had gone for a few auditions. I had seen the pattern of things. And I was so restless as a young chap. I was by restless, I mean the fire was burning so much. Bear in mind, I spent roughly 6-7 years incubating because in uni, I was studying theater, but I wanted to do more than theater. I was scared to go on stage. I was afraid. I was timid, right? When I finished, I started working with RMD as his PA. And I was seeing him on set, but this is what I wanted to do. This is what I loved. Then RMD started doing Made in Worry. I used to divulge. I used to eat up Night of 1,000 Laughs just by watching. I used to shake. You know when you're watching something and you start having goosebumps and you're shaking? Because I knew that was me. Right? So the time RMD they do Made in Worry, because I was RMD staff, I was backroom, and I used to say, bros, I feel past these guys. So I feel do this thing with these people they do, you know? So I spent too many years in incubation. So by the time I came out, right? I'm going for auditions and I'm like, okay, I'm not landing the roles I want to get. Somebody really pissed me off. Someone I was looking up to at the time that said, oh, it's because you have a 9 to 5. If not, I'll give you roles. When I resigned, I said, bros, I don't resign. No. This is it. He said, man, cannot they stop him? Without saying, I saw this thing easy. He screamed at me in Greener Line Motor Park in Yaba.
I know this was can pay you well, bros.
No, but this was in public. Everybody turned that what's going on here, right?
But that time, were you already upcoming as a star?
No. I had just resigned. This is late 2006. I had not done anything, right? So the way the guy screamed, I was angry and embarrassed for probably 2-3 minutes. But there I said, why am I even begging? And luckily for me, I had read so many books. My mom now librarian by training. So I grew up reading. I started reading pace setters before I was even 7 or 8. Wow. By 12, I don't read James Hadley Chase. My mom didn't want me to, but they steal all of them. They read because at the time my age never right for James Hadley Chase, right? My mom, they buy newspapers every day, all the dailies. I they divulge all of them. I did chop them. So I think maybe that's where my love for writing developed, right? So many people today where they see people like Ruben Abati. When Ruben Abati, they write for Guardian in the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't read Ruben Abati columns. And Abati is a writer. You get? So I told myself, this guy screamed for me like this. Okay. One of the books I read was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the poor dad's son tell the rich dad, say, my daddy say, he asked, what's the plan for your life? Say, my daddy say, I should go to school and finish with good grades so that if I'm top of my class, I will get a good job. And when I get a good job, I will climb up the ladder of that job and eventually become the head of the company. The rich dad called laugh. God said, when you get home, tell your dad that instead of climbing up the ladder that the company sets, why don't you own the ladder people are climbing? So that was my eureka moment when that guy screamed at me. And I wrote Extended Family. I wrote Extended Family. So that's why I say I started off as a executive producer, co-executive producer.
So you went from that moment at Greener Line to just saying, I want to do my own thing.
Right.
And you wrote Extended Family.
Right.
Did you think Extended Family was going to do good at all? Did you know where you're going to put it?
I knew.
How and why?
Otumba Sheson Rufai, the owner of Goldmine TV now. Sheson Rufai was the staff of Silverbird, I think was head of programs.
Yeah.
Sheson Rufai told me, the only available slot time is 8 p.m. on Sundays. But it's not a good time for you because Fuji House of Commotion shows from 7:30 to 8. So people will compare the programs, they won't watch us. I said, Oga, put it there. That's the kind of competition I want, right? If it will make me sit up, then I'm ready to sit up. But put it there. I want people to watch TV for 1 hour. So when they finish Fuji House of Commotion, they'll be like, oh yeah, it's not over. Let it look like a martini. And that's exactly what happened.
But every time I sit down with you, everything I hear sometimes when I sit down with you actually and you speak, I hear audacity and confidence. I think I'm very similar to you. That's why I actually chose you as a mentor. But that part is the part I don't really have. So you have always, I think that from our conversations, you have always been confident. I've always had the audacity to go after things. Why is that? Like, was it part of your upbringing, or why is it that there's something about you that will make you leave a job that you resigned and create an entire show and believe that the show will do so good?
I don't think it's part of my upbringing because my parents never even wanted me to resign in the first place.
Okay.
They were like, so what will you do? My mom wanted to get me job. My mom got me 2 jobs upon graduation as lecturer in University and Polytechnic. So that's why I never went back home. I'm from Kogi State. Instead of to face Delta State, I came straight to Lagos.
What did you do for Kogi State?
Youth service. So I think it's more like my temperament and knowing at a very young age what I wanted. So I didn't allow my family upbringing, my immediate environment or my society to mold me.
Okay.
When I did Abraka, I remember people used to tell me, you don't live in Lagos. We always thought you lived in Lagos. Because Lagos boys and Lagos girls probably had the way they were perceived. Refined, So that's that. I always knew what I wanted. And it's my gift and I can't deny it, ultimately.
Amazing. So now that you've moved into like movies, right? My Village People was a very fantastic story, by the way. What inspired My Village People? Did you go through any village problems? Did somebody try to, or how did the story come about? Because you wrote a proper story that all of us could relate from back in Warri, and the witchcrafts. Bless her soul, Rachel Oniga. She ate it up and she represented those witches where we know for all the years, all those women over the years say, this woman, I wish should not near her. But you captured that story so well, right? Why did you write that story? And did you think it was going to do good? Because it was a story about witches. Like, I was very worried at the beginning to say, Village People.
Yeah. The story is a composition of different things that happen in my head. Some in reality, some just fiction. I tell people till tomorrow, if you open Twitter now on that pad and search the words Village People, you will see people have tweeted today that, my village people, so and so thing happened to me. You see, your village people, now they pursue you and stuff like that, right? Twitter is one place where trends come and go. Village People has never gone. And people didn't realize that. Village People is one trend that never goes away. I wish I can start naming all of them now, all the trends. But trends come and trends go in this current generation, right? So I knew that commercially, this will be a hit if you get the story right.
Yeah.
Because everybody has village people.
True.
We all have our village people.
True.
Except for Lagosians, where they're born for Lagos here, where they stay here.
We don't even know their village.
We be their own village people.
Yeah.
They be their village people.
Yeah, so
you know that kind of thing.
True.
We all have our village people. Ultimately. So that was one component commercially. I'm like, okay, this one, I go hold them, do them. The 3 old women, 3 is a symbol in the occultic world, stuff like that.
Yes.
They have always used 3 when they describe things like witches and all that, right? When I was young, I used to have nightmares of old women beating me up. And they will act like they're playing with me. So I feel hide for dream. And they'll be searching for me. And when they see me, I feel come out like saying I play. And they'll be like, yeah, it's play. But they'll carry me, use my head, hit wall, bomb. And when I wake up, I will have very mad headache and high fever. Right. So that was my earliest form of pressing. What's it called?
Did you go for deliverance?
No, luckily I'll not be babe now. Village life now. When you be babe,
you carry
the first thing they'll say, hey. But luckily for me, my parents are exposed people. So all that never came up.
But you physically depressed you through.
I used to have nightmares. Let's leave it like that, because what we call pressing as sleep paralysis.
Bro, do of nightmares. Say where we come from. If that catches the happens to you, that's
but you know why I not. The lean towards that thing, because many dreams have been killed like that. young people who are having nightmares. If you just be fine girl, they want carry you for deliverance or lock you for prophet as prophets go fuck. Prophet go sleep with you against your will. Do you understand?
Yeah.
These are common stories. So I want our people to be enlightened more, and so that narrative can change.
Yeah.
Because if you're having high fever, you can have hallucinations. You know, you can have a very bad malaria that will make you act up. The next thing will say deliverance. She's from the marine world and this and that. So it was recently I found out that pressing thing, because they call it press me later on in life. Not these women, but you know when they struggle to wake up, when you call shout, Jesus, it's sleep paralysis.
Yeah, true.
As it turns out, but we will always look for what to allude it to spiritually and all that. You
know? But why? There's something about you that just doesn't like
oppression.
I feel like yes. So I feel like you are too aware of yourself, right? So as with the auditions, as with Greener Line, right? Whenever these things happen to you, there's another move from you. Why?
I think I spent too many years being abused in the system. My growing up, suppressed. Don't talk. How dare you look me in the eyes? Bored or load you.
Yes.
You understand? You're a junior boy's last man. They'll punish you for waiting unnecessary. You enter university. The lecturer, they do one kind. They feel like saying be God. Non-academic staff.
Yes.
They give you wahala. Are you understanding? So once I entered life, a graduate, say my certificate, I have touched that thing probably only 3 times. When I picked it up, when I tried to get job, when I just graduated, and maybe one other time when I laminate them, right? But I have not set my eyes on it.
Collect my own.
I've not set my eyes on it again. So when I tasted freedom, I'm like, now I'm free. I'm not going to take shit from anybody. You mean I can function on my own? Oh, so I don't need this person to eat. I don't need this person to buy clothes or you mean I can live my life by myself?
But has that affected you, going forward in your career, your choices? Because also, whether you like it or not, we're in a space where people like oppression, people like to oppress other people like people for you to kiss their ass and just be subservient
Nigerians
so you can
will
get
love
ahead.
You. Yeah, Nigerians will love you as long as they are feeding you.
Right.
It's very typical of us. The moment you become ambitious, it's like, why? It's because we have a system of abuse, a system of slave master, right? And it shows in very little ways you will not even know. Do you get? It's rubbish. Where we come from, if your junior come visit you or they stay your house, in chop finish, he must greet you.
Yes.
Why? For food.
Bro,
I thanked you when you gave me the food. Then as I chop finish, if I don't greet you, I don't fuck up.
Yes.
Why?
Just I'm asking you because I come from the same place as you and I learned those things. I learned to stoop for some reason. But ever since I met you, they make me say, Bobby will literally tell me, don't you know you're a star? Do like this. So now they give me ginger. So is this confidence for you, right? Has this affected you in any way? Because the people that we're dealing with like the system of abuse. And you are always trying to check that system. So I'm sure that you have made enemies along the way trying to do that.
Go check everybody where don't blow. They've made enemies along the way. In Nigeria, go check everybody where they at the top of their game. There was a stage, people didn't like them. There was a campaign against them, directly and indirectly. Oh, a person do this, he do that. But even normal belle where you give girl, they'll blow her like saying a crime. You come out. Whereas children are a gift from God. You understand? But once they get there, everybody again go fall in line.
Wow. So did you always know this?
I don't know.
Because it seems like you didn't even care when you just kept moving.
I cared, yeah. So I kept my eye on the goal. That was my saving grace. I kept my eye on the goal. So who offend me, who not offend me? After a while, I don't face that goal again. So I think that was my saving grace. I remember, make no mistake, I damn well remember, right? So it's hard for me to fall victim twice.
Right.
Which is what I tell people. When I encourage you, I basically encourage you to stop because you second guess yourself. And that's what abuse does. It makes you start checking yourself every time. Whereas sometimes all you just need to do is move.
Yes.
I remember traveling home not home, to Agbo for my cousin's wedding. I can't meet many people from the community where we grew up, right? The university community. I was greeting them, everything. My mom was there. Greet, play. Now they do TV, you know. So are they shy?
Yes.
I not come from phone now. You know, that kind of thing.
I still humble.
I still humble. But I was overcompensating. And then we gathered for a group picture. Let's take it. I said, no problem. I can't bend. Take the picture. After we took the pictures, everybody was in. My mom pulled me to a corner. She said, stop stooping. Stop shrinking yourself. God made you tall. So why you stand? When it's time for a picture, stand. The frame will accommodate you. You don't need to. You are cowing. You are. And, you know, I made the mental notes. So while I am humble, I am not stupid as well. Like, okay, politely, please, this will not work for me, no vex. Now that's honest opinion. Now I don't think enter trouble where. No vex, I know if he do this one. You know? Initially, I feel they think, wait, I'll lie say I not there. I'll lie say I not where. I'll lie say. But at some point, it's just like, with all due respect. I'm not saying you should be brash with the truth every time. You must manage emotions. But if I know fully well that you just want to use me, not be say you really like me. Now, because of waiting I get, now you are. If the thing not work, I want a situation where whatever I'm doing is beneficial to me, it's beneficial to you, it's beneficial to everybody that is involved. In the absence of that, I'm sorry. I'll pass on this one.
I mean, when you started the date, Chris, now when you carried on the hot, I mean, before you blow.
As my career my stand-up just starts, right? That I start to date Chris. Yeah, as my stand-up just start to peak. Because I remember me, Chris, my brother Zeno, and August Baba, we go. They say KP, they do, what's it they call that show? Friday Night Laughs for for City Mall, right? Friday Night Laughs once a month. So we went for, I think, the maiden edition. As we reached the gates, KP enter. You know, KP na producer, and so forget that they asked for tickets. So go say, boy, chin up. We be comedians. We can't pay. Of course, no one pay. You say, forget, lock up, we not they pay. Then we go say, forget, say, we are comedians. They can't go call KP. KP can't come. As KP use sight us from fire, not near the table because he need the money. We never blow. You can't blame him. Yeah. We never really blow. You understand? So KP just threw a face go corner. So August whole ground, right? I be like, KP call pass message. They call say, okay, me and August will not pay, but my brother and my babe will pay. So we'll call pay for their two, we'll call enter. All the comedians where they book for show now, all of them, they run late. They never come. So as like 3 acts don't perform, you know? So where we sit down, 9, KP call set this. See, as this guy, whether now I say lie, we buy tickets. We not go, I don't feel perform. They come lobby, say no, this is not enter.
Hey, shake everywhere.
I scatter the place. Energy. The jokes are brand new.
You don't write already, they wait for your day.
I always prepared, for some funny reason, I always prepare myself that in case you are called up, anywhere where I go, I don't say microphone day. In case you are called up, what will you say? So I they make notes mentally, I they write for corner, just in case they call me. Now maybe Boy Scout too. Be prepared.
I love it.
As I enter, scatter the place, and I saw my brother jump, just start to speak. So go again, where Kobe Road, where Kobe. I don't time for. He start to praise God. What
did that? I would have been so embarrassed.
But no, I said the heard they scatter. So people they laugh, they died. Say man, that joke be this. So he was just one person in the mix.
You could hear him.
In my front, we sit down. He stand like this, like saying at church. They raise their hands. They say, "Oh, where Kobe."
Oh, that's amazing. What was Chris doing at the time?
She won't laugh.
Just a friend that why she did comedian? How did she feel like that time when she did comedian?
That a different love story way long ago.
Please tell me how you must just give me small.
I chased Chris for like 3 months before she agreed because there was some complicated shit, you know, in the whole in the lungus. But I chased her for like 3 months, and when we started dating, at the time I said, "You are my wife, or you do anything."
Oh, you know she was your wife?
Yeah.
Why? How?
I don't know. I'm when a subconscious force just they push you. Me and Chris start marriage counseling before my mom seems. When I tell my mom, sorry, I couldn't pick your call. I was in marriage counseling. My mom, are you mad? What? You want to marry? I've not seen it. What's wrong with you? What kind of... Now they are conscious. Okay, what am I doing? But I'm like, why should they vex? Because I'm my wife. Me no say I'm my wife.
Well, what if your mom has said no?
She for not say no. Zeno, my immediate younger brother, Zeno na my henchman, right? I Zeno tell my mama, see, when you see the girl, you even melt because she's like you. So my mom mind can't come down. So me and Chris can't travel. Go see her. And first off, my mom see her, the energy first connects. And my mom told her, listen, you are not my son's wife. You are my daughter. From today, just know that you are my daughter.
Chris is so impressionable.
First things first. And there are 2 till her passing.
Wow.
They were interwoven.
I just want to talk about your kids before the end of this. I cannot not talk about your kids. You have some of the most interesting kids alive, because whenever I watch, I think you use Instagram, gives me more content than some other Instagrams in this Nigeria, right? Having kids, what impact did they have on you? And now you have a daughter you're very close to who sort of reminds you of you. How do you feel when you're engaging with your children? Because you only wanted to have one. Are you thanking God every day that you now have 3? You want more?
Like I said earlier, children are a gift from God. Yeah. I don't want more because I want to be able to look at all my kids without twisting my neck left and right. I want to be able to look at my kids without them lacking anything. I want to be able to look at my kids and know them. Right? I want to have a relationship with my kids. But I think most of this gratitude goes to my wife, actually, because if I was not stable at home, if she didn't provide an enabling environment, not be this one would they talk, right? So Chris she takes my shit. Her tolerance level is very high, and then she tries her best to ensure that all is well with the children. Like, she's learning too in many more ways than one, right? So most of these credits of my children should go to her. I mean, the kids have their own temperament and how they're born, but she has been...
Shout out to Chris Oboma.
Yes, she's a guardian angel.
She is. What are your daughter? Do you think she would toe your line?
I don't know. Because my parents tried to force me down in line, I didn't want to go to several lines. I'm just allowing her express herself. She may just be a reality star as against an actor. People are like, oh, this girl make a very good actress. She may be a singer. She may say that is director I want to be. She may be a writer. You understand?
She's so amazing. What's the most interesting thing that has ever happened with Elena? What the most interesting situation? Because there's too many situations I want to bring out from Instagram. Too many things that Elena has done. I'm just like, this can't be. How old is she now?
8.
She cannot be an 8-year-old because the kind of things that she was on set with me. I did look and say, Elena is so smart. She remind you, say that's on the line.
Yeah,
to take.
Now children are space they the brain. She never. She not they pay for anything.
She's particularly no. No, but Elena is particularly gifted. There's something about her that you just this one is a star. So even if she becomes a writer or whatever she becomes, she'll excel.
Think every child is like Elena. Yeah. It's just that hers is more prominent because it's an expressive form. So we're getting to know, okay, this is what her gifts are. Like I said, I'm not sure because she may actually even be like me and say, I want to do this, and this. You get the point. So I'm happy that I have a child who is expressive, who can hold conversations, because these were the things they stopped us from having. For those of us who had it, right? You they talk. I they talk, you they talk. I they talk, you they look me for face.
Quiet today. But sometimes I would do like this. Stop that.
Yes, now.
Okay, well, I almost come to the end of the show, but I want to personally thank you for, first of all, coming on the show and also helping me in a lot of things. And thank you for Visa on Arrival. Visa on Arrival. You know, Bovee reached out to me one day. So you go on to my series. I say, bros, why not? So he had sent me the script, but I'm not going to read that. I just want to do the series because you told no, we did the series. So I don't come do that. I don't try to do that. Oh, bros, I don't read. Don't worry. Obviously, you've not read that script. If you read that script, the energy will be different. And I read Visa on Arrival in one day. I sat down in less than a few hours. I finished it and I came back and I was ready. Visa on Arrival is the most brilliant, one of the most brilliant things that you've ever done, Bovee. How? Why? From where? The inspiration? How did it come about?
I don't know. Like I said, I look around my environment and create stuff. There's nothing in Visa on Arrival that none of us in this room have not experienced in real life. You know, the system is faulty, for the lack of a better word. It's faulty. So that's why the show is a hit, because everybody can relate with the drama, and then the actors are bringing their A game to it. You know, so for me, I don't write Visa on Arrival. I don't crack my brain. You got to beat this one. Oh. What are you researching on? So I they read now, they study. Like you must read. Yeah. You know, make I cast you small. Because you know I kept telling you, read the script. That was season 1. Season 2, you didn't read the script. Which is where the problem starts from.
Because it's fun.
No, we're not going to cut her more. Taymesan didn't, let me look at the camera. Oh my God. Taymesan didn't read the script in season 2. Like when I say he didn't read it, he waited till he got us set before he started to get into it. And you know why? Because you don't kill the first one. You assume, okay. Yeah. No, the game keeps improving, number 1. Number 2, you are digging too deep into, too early into your reserve, which is your innate quality. The gift we don't follow you come, not be you. I've watched the first cut. You killed it. You actually killed it. But I actually feel you would have killed it more. Your score for me is an A. In season 2, it is actually an A. Don't get me wrong. But
you know,
I know, say you go do this thing, there are probably things you would have given us that may have become legendary for life. Nobody will forget them again.
Okay, I will do better next time.
You have to.
Thank you for this feedback. I will post this particular bit just because, this is good feedback. And thank you so much. Before I let you go finally, are we expecting any special anytime soon?
I have to do that. Long overdue. So do you think it would be a Netflix or Amazon, or which special will it be? I don't know. You know, some years ago, my friends who are aggregators to these streaming platforms, Netflix, I'm like, talk to these people, let's make it sure. And they're like, I know, go and record the tape and bring it, don't take it to them. I'm like, I'm not going to beg for this. Tell them you have one of the hottest comedians ever out of Africa. Pitch this thing to them, let them offer me a deal. They're like, no, just record it and bring. I'm like, they'll buy it like every other tape, right? If you go cap in hand, do they need comedy? Tell them you have where comedy can come from. Let's record it properly, because I don't want to have to depend on making money from the show to offset my costs first, right?
But you stifle the creativity.
Yeah. Anyway, after holding my ground for so long, I'm like, okay, you will go record that. We'll battle it out on the negotiation table.
So, have you recorded it? Are you going to record it?
I haven't recorded it. I'm going to record it. There are so many things I have to do. Some are quite innovative, you know, but I have to give it a shot. If it works, it works. If it don't work, we'll try another one.
In Jesus' name. Thank you so much for coming on my show, Bovee. Even though you dragged me small. But thank you so much for coming on my show. I hope this is one of the best. It is actually one of the best episodes ever, because I really enjoyed the honesty and just lots of lessons that I learned from this conversation. Thank you.